obviously this is the finished look right here. I had no idea what I was gonna do when I started this because this is my first video. Like, don't you hate that tracking thing? It's so annoying. You're probably gonna see a lot of it during the video. I'm so sorry you could not figure out how to turn it off. But anyway, yes, onto the video because I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm going to start with my, okay, I'm horrible at every single language except for English. So, No Cream color prevails. It's the Blank Canvas Liquid Foundation. Whoa. I didn't know my camera could do that. So yes, and I'm going to use that on my Real Techniques stippling brush, if that will focus, and it will not. Okay. So I'll just pump some on the back of my hand here. Usually about one pump is more than enough. So let's just get right into it, shall we? I usually start towards the center of my face and blend it out. Is it recording? Okay. So this foundation, I would say, has maybe pretty sheer coverage. Sheer to medium. It's definitely buildable though. It gives a really, really nice kind of second skin kind of effect to this. Well, to the skin, obviously. But it gives a pretty nice second skin effect. And I like that. So that's just one layer. Looks pretty. Beauty blender in a second. And by a second I mean right now. And I'm just kind of gently tapping over to get rid of it. On my very pale skin, it's very hard to find a color that really works as a highlight, but this is the closest thing that I am able to find. Oh, this is the Dream Lumi Touche Camouflage Highlighting Concealer. Yeah, it's by Maybelline. It's just the Dream Lumi towards the central part of my face, up on top of my cheekbones. And I just start under one eye at a time because it's hard to blend out if you don't do it right away. At least that's what I found. But I'm just using my beauty blender. And I still haven't I did not get all the way up on my under eyes right here with it, just because I find it creases. So I'm just gonna do the other side now. I find if I try and swipe with any sort of sponge, it just kind of exaggerates any it exaggerates any flakiness on my skin, but I feel like if you press it into the skin, it really just kind of smooths over that, which I obviously like, or I wouldn't do it. This mirror that I'm using, it's from Lancome. I literally have no idea what it's called because the label is pretty much just completely ripped off, but it's just what I use as my mirror. Okay, so now I'm just taking my highlighting concealer again, putting it on top of my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and a little bit on my forehead as well. On my pale skin, it's really not that much of a difference, but it does help giving my face more dimension. Keeping it in the center of the face, but blending it out just to give the effect that my features are more prominent right underneath my cheekbones. Okay, and there you see the cheekbone looks more sunken in. I guess that's even a good way to describe it. It kind of makes me sound like I'm dead, but It's more sunken in, it looks more proper. This is my first video, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit awkward and stumble a lot because I kind of have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to do some concealing, mostly with this gigantic pimple on my face. So with that, my makeup is so unorganized right now, you guys. I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 10. I really wish I would have gotten 15 because even though this is the lightest color in the range, I find it's not actually the lightest color because it has a very yellow, base to it, and it's hard to find very light foundations or very light base products with a yellow undertone. Oops. So I kind of wish I would have gotten the 15 because, one, I don't really have a yellow undertone. I have a very pink undertone. I'm naturally a redhead, and kind of just comes with the package. So yeah, I wish I would have gotten the 15, but this works too. I'm actually just gonna take my finger, I think, and just kind of pat. You don't want to like rub your concealer because you'll just rub the product right off your face. You won't get any, you won't get good coverage if you do that. It'll just kind of wipe the product off. So you just kind of like pat. Keep it more focused in the center, and then just kind of gently go around the edges, just to kind of blend it out and look very seamless. I don't know, I've just yet to find a good concealer with very good coverage, but I will have to just do with what I have. Okay, so it's pretty much my base layer, but without the under eye concealer yet. I save that for after I do the eyes. Before I do anything, I prime my eyelids. So that's what I'm gonna do. So, oops. Oh, all right. So, focus. All right. So this is my 24-hour cream eyeshadow by Maybelline. It's in number 70, barely branded. This is I think it's the lightest one out of both ranges that is, has in like neutral undertone. Like, I know that the color Tattoo Leathers, I think they have one that's lighter than this, but it's silver. So I can't really use silver all over my eyes. So it's just kind of a gold shimmery color, but I find it lasts super long, and even though it does have that shimmer in it, I can bring it all the way up to my brow bone because I do powder over the top of it just to make it less sticky, so it's easier to blend over products. And I do have a very uneven eyelid on this side. I have freckles on my eyelids, so it's kind of difficult to cover that, so I've just kind of come to terms with it. So usually what I like to do is I do one thin layer of it and then another thin layer on top of it. I don't like going in with tons of product and then trying to blend it out. I just do a thin layer and then do another thin layer, just to keep everything from caking. Because this set's pretty solid, I don't powder over the top of it just yet. I actually move on to my eyebrows. Now if my thing will focus. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Okay, so I think I fixed it, and I didn't. I am going to shoot someone. Okay. Whatever. Let's just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Oh, okay. It's not as bad, so I guess I'll get over it. So Milani Easy Brow Pencil, you probably can't see, but has a spoolie on one end, and it's kind of reminds me of the Anastasia. Run my pencil through, fill in any sparse areas because my eyebrows are so light naturally. I don't really use this for shaping. I kind of use it just to color my brows, but I do use it for a lot of shaping. Who am I even kidding? My eyebrows are horrible. And so like I'm not super messy when I do this, just because I go back and clean it up with concealer afterwards because I'm super lazy and I don't like to be careful. Blend it out. So you have something that kind of looks like that. This is the palette that I used for my eyebrows. I'm pretty sure you can tell which ones I use for my eyebrows because they have severely hit pan. This one right here. And I just kind of go over the parts where I put the pencil. Again, not really very precise with this because I don't care. And then kind of just go through the front and poke it in right here to give the illusion that there are more hairs right here instead of just lines. So what I do is I try and make it look very natural towards the front, but then I sharpen it and clean the edges out here, which, and what I do with that is I kind of just get it off, take off the excess product so it's not too dark in my brows, and then flick it through to give extra dimension, and then really focus it on that tail end. It looks super messy right now, but it's okay because I clean it up afterwards. Something like that. I'm going to go back and clean it up with concealer now before I use brow gel. So I'm actually not going to use that Fit Me concealer that I use because, like I said, it's a little bit dark and I don't want to use a concealer that's darker than my natural skin color on my brows because that would just kind of be ridiculous. So what I'm actually going to do is, this is the L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur Concealer Corrector Technology Opti Blur, whatever. This thing right here, I'm going to use it. But it's pink undertone, and I find if I try and use it under my eyes, it makes my under eyes look very gray, so I don't use it under my eyes, but I use it on my skin sometimes, and I like to use it around my brows just because it's easy. The top of the tail end of that concealer as well, and just really sharpen that tail up, and kind of go over the top of the arch just to make it look more clean. Just kind of use that brush to blend it down, blend it up on top right here. And then I usually tend to just leave this inside portion alone. If anything, I just kind of flick over very messily right here and in through the front. I'm gonna go and use, okay, you guys, I love Maybelline. I really do like their brand. They have really good products. The only thing I don't like is that they do test on animals. At least that's what I've heard, and I really don't like that, but there's not really that many vegan drugstore brands, so I mean, like, it's just makeup, you know what I mean? But it does upset me that they test on animals. But anyway, so I'm using their Brow Drama mascara. I'm just using it to comb my hairs back up and into the shape that I want them to be in. I find that this brow mascara is actually really good. Like, once I comb them in place, like, they don't go anywhere. I love that. Brow is finished. I'm just going to do the other one. Oh, just look at the difference. Alright, so there's both brows done, or at least good enough for me. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Beauty blender, and I'm going to take it into my CoverGirl translucent, well, close enough to translucent powder, and I'm going to use it to set my under eye area, but not all the way up to my under eye because I have not put any concealer there yet, so I don't want to put powder there and then try and blend concealer on top of it later. If you probably already know what it is, but if you don't, I'll explain it to you. This is called baking your concealer, pretty much. So much powder. Basically, you put it in any places where you have put your highlighter or concealer, and it sets it and also brightens it a little depending on how light it is and your skin tone, of course. So that I'm just gonna leave that. I don't do anything to it, and then after I'm done with my eyes, I wipe it away. So now for my eyeballs, my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder on my Real Techniques. It actually doesn't have the name of this brush on it, but I think it's the dense concealer brush or something like that. Taking that powder on this brush and using it to set over that cream eyeshadow underneath. I'm going to go back into my palette right here. I'm going to use for my eyebrows. And I'm going to go back in with that light brown color that I used for my eyebrows. Blend that through my crease. Kind of, I have sort of, I don't really have a very definite socket or anything. So I just kind of blend it into my crease and slightly above. Once I have it directly in my crease, I use whatever is left on my brush to blend it out further towards my brow bone. So bam, bam, crease color done. This shimmery white shade right here, I'm actually just going to use my, nope, I already lost it. Oh, nope, here it is. Okay, so I'm just doing a little wash over the eyelids. I find that this kind of has like gold flecks in it that you don't really see when it's in the pan, but you see when it's on your eye. I take that onto my inside corners as well, just with that same brush. I'm going to move on to my eyeliner. I'm going to use my Felt Tip Liquid Eyeliner by Jordana, the Fabuliner. It's just in black. I tilt my head back and then look down into a mirror, just so I can kind of really get into my lash line right here. Trying to keep it as thin as possible, very close to the lash line. Just trying to get in there so we make sure that there is no gap between my liner and my lashes. I'm going to do a wing, outer corner towards the end of your eyebrow pretty much, or towards your temples, and then bring it back in across the eye and then fill it in. After you fill the wing portion in right there, you just kind of even the whole line out. I'm just going to do the other eye and then get back to you. Okay, so there is both eyes done. So now what I do, I finish my face now. All of this powder that I put to set my concealer, I'm now going to wipe away with my Real Techniques multitask brush. So now I'm going to do my under eye concealer. I'm going to use my another Maybelline product. I'm going to use my Maybelline Age Rewind, Instant Age Rewind eraser for dark circles treatment / actually took the sponge off of mine because it grossed me out. Like, there was just so much product in there, and I felt like when I used the sponge I was just wasting a bunch of product. Like, I just felt super unsanitary. I did not like it very much. A little bit goes a long way with this product. There's both under eyes done. Use my finger to pat over. I'm going to finish off my skin. Real Techniques brush again, and I'm going to go into my Physicians Formula bronzer. It is the Magic Mosaic Multicolored Custom Bronzer in Light. Tap off the excess. I start back here and blend into my cheekbone and then blend up. Please, cannot focus. I'm actually not going to use blush yet. I'm actually going to use another bronzer, which is actually not really bronze enough to use as a bronzer on me, so I actually use it as a highlighter. Oh, this is the wrong one. That would have been a disaster. The Hard Candy bronzer. The So Baked bronzer. This is in the color 129 Tiki. Mine broke a long time ago. So I'm just going to take that on my multitask brush again. Just kind of smile very creepily and then put it right where, just kind of like all over the cheeks, like if I was using it as a blush, sort of, just to kind of get the glow all over. You see how pretty that is. I love it. Love, 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 love. Sorry, it keeps on focusing. It's so annoying to me too. Physicians Formula blush. If I could record a smell, you guys need to smell this freaking blush. It smells so good. It smells like vanilla and it smells so good. Again, as highlighter, it does not really have that much color in it. It's not very pigmented at all, to be honest. But it does have a really, really beautiful shimmer in it. So don't think I'm going to take any blush. Maybe after I do everything else, and then I'll come back and see if I need to add any more blush. I'm gonna go back to my eyes now. What the heck? Okay. So now I'm going to curl my lashes. I usually use the Clump Crusher for my bottom lashes. I know I'm a diva because I use 2 separate mascaras, but I've totally fallen in love with this mascara recently. So, and then start at the root of the lashes and make sure I really get it coated right there because I have not tight lined or anything. And then start bringing it up into the lengths. Be careful not to poke yourself in the eye because I kind of just did. Bottom lashes. I actually don't think I'm going to use eyeshadow. I'm just gonna actually take my Hard Candy bronzer again, the shimmery one, and just kind of use that as an extra highlight on my inner corner. And take my Clump Crusher. Oh, I just realized it's probably right in front of my face. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that's both eyes done with mascara. Alright, so I'm just gonna do up kind of a natural glossy lip, I think. Sorry. First I'm taking my Jordana Easy Liner for lips. I think this one is in Coral Crush? Rose Crush, that's what it is. I'm going to use this over my entire lip. So after that's all over the lips, I take this new gloss that I just got by Milani. I don't really like it that much. I feel it's very sticky. Like, it's super sticky. And don't really like sticky glosses that much. I don't really know why, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm gonna use it. But it's a pretty color, and usually the thick, sticky ones are usually the ones that last the longest. This is the Milani Brilliant Shine Lip Gloss in Pink Lady, number 7. Shkloop. And then you're just gonna put that all over your lips. Now that I have the lip gloss and lipstick on, I'm going to add teensy weensy bit of blush. My Milani powder blush. It's the rose one. It's in Coral Cove number 5. I use my multitask brush again. Take it, dip it in one time is literally more than enough, and then tap off the excess. I'm going to take it from the back of my cheek very lightly and dust it forward. I'm not going to put it right on the apples of my cheeks just so I can keep everything super highlighted in here. Okay. So this is the finished look. There we go. So there we go. Winged liner, eyebrows, winged liner, pretty natural look. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.